All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah, HaKodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Hey, this is a video, about this Jake soldier, and I'm going to play it, Lord will. Hey, but it shows you the hypocrisy, right? Because here it is. Hey, you have Jake, well, really, I'll say all nations, right here in America, and you have no problem rejoicing at the fall of your enemies. But that same sentiment when somebody inward in the land says something, that's when you have a problem, right? Here it is, America and Israel have been bombing, the Middle East, been bombing hospitals, bombing schools, bombing all different types of places where civilians are at, right? And American people, they do what? They clap, they applaud it, they basically turn up at the fall of bodies, right? So let's play this. See, and this Jake has a problem because he's in the military fighting for Esau, right? He's fighting for Esau. He's ultimately a pawn for the Edomite regime. And that's just the truth, right? So you are angry at the fact that y'all can go around the world and destroy nations, set up puppet leaders, snatch, heritages and lineages away from individuals, right? By destroying them, by killing them. But the moment it happens to, an American soldier, that's when you have a problem, right? But ultimately, Yahweh Shai said that these things have to befall Babylon the Great, right? Matter of fact, when we go into the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, in the 5th verse, it says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai hath remembered her iniquities," right? Those sins are of who? Babylon the Great, right? It says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double, according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double," right? So here it is, Babylon. America has passed the cup around all these nations, right? As the scriptures say, the wrath of her fornication have made them drunken, right? Through the philosophies and the image of the beast, in which, deals with what the Food and Drug Administration, the Hollywood industry, the education industry, right? The media, right? All these different facets of the image of the beast. You've passed this around to now where you have women in the Middle East, saying, they in America twerking. They don't have their head reps or their their garb or their modest apparel on, right? Here it is. You've essentially taught all the women in the world to be whores, right? What about that destruction upon the earth? Just because a body isn't destroyed by a bomb from that, well, they're destroyed. They're taken from their morals and their values, right? Jake is mad, but at the end of the day, those who are yoked in with America, with Babylon the Great, with the virgin daughter of Babylon, guess what? You're going to have the same fate, man, right? It says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double." Why? "How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously." Right? Everybody talks about, you have people coming to America for a better life. Right. Because America destroyed their countries. America has set forth tariffs in these other countries to where these people can't prosper in the land that they were once dwelling in. So, of course, at that point, they're going to escape, the conditions in which America created to go to the land where they think, or to go to the land where the power is, so to speak, man. Tariffs kill people. Every time tariffs are placed on a country, what happens? It messes up their supply and demand chain, right? Which means what? It stops the amount of goods and the quality of goods to go into a certain city, town, or country. Right? So when there isn't the same amount of supply in a city, country, or town, what happens? The people start doing what? Fighting inwardly. So of course it's going to cause corruption. Of course it's going to cause economic collapse, which then causes what? Famine, which then causes civil war, which then causes what? Death. Tariffs have inadvertently been killing nations time after time after time, year after year after year after year. The effects of tariffs ultimately bring forth death. And America constantly puts constantly puts those same tariffs on nations, man. So they flee to escape the BS that was set up in their towns, in their countries. See, when you take a look at Jake in that military, what he does is he blinds your mind from all the wickedness that they've done in the earth, right? He conditions you and brainwashes you to make you think that America is innocent, right? Because if you didn't believe that America was innocent, you wouldn't fight for him. You wouldn't volunteer your life to be what? A pawn for their service. But even when you look at it now, Jake gets into the military. I have to give that disclosure as well. Jake gets into the military because, they want free schooling. They want some type of health care. They're not going in to fight, though that's what being in the army requires. War is part of the prerequisite, man. That's part of the listings. But nevertheless, you gonna fall with the same system that you trust in. Matter of fact, and are people making jokes about the number of deaths? The American media is lying. That's just a fact. You wouldn't need to call for more troops if you were winning. That's just a fact. This is Sirach 25, right? Because the scriptures tell us this. Because guess what? At the fall of Babylon the Great, we're going to rejoice. As we're rejoicing now. Yes, we live here. But that shows you how much more you should be rejoicing. We understand that the end is nigh. Babylon's destruction was written before it was actually into fruition, man. And guess what? Behold, as the scripture says in the book of Baruch, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. The land that enslaved us, the individual people, they've all, when we go into the Psalms, the 83rd chapter, they've all took place in bringing down Jerusalem as a nation. The nations have forwarded our affliction, right? And then when you take a look at all the nations confederate, right? They've all taken part in spoiling us. So if you in your right mind, you would rejoice at the fall of this place. Right? This Sirach 25:7 says, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. It's that simple. He that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. See, this particular Jake don't feel as if Esau is his enemy. Right? Because they always bring a nigga to defend Esau. It's always like that. Right? Jake has been broken down so he doesn't know his real nationality. And if he was told it, you know what he would do? He would reject it. He would call us crazy. He would scoff. All of the above. So there's no hope for Jake in his mindset. There's no hope. You've helped with the partaking and killing of millions of other nations of people. Now that it's coming upon your own nation, now you have a problem. But you've helped. You've helped destroy kids, grandmas, grandfathers, men and women. This is part of it, man. But of course, Jake is going to always defend. Matter of fact, the scripture says this in the book of Proverbs. It's Proverbs 11:21. It says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Here it is. You've yoked yourself with Esau, Edom, right? So when he falls, hey, you're going to fall with it. Hence the war in heaven. Hey, Yahweh Shema Shah is going to allow Esau to fight. He didn't say that they were going to win nor have a chance, but they still got to fight. That's what the scriptures say. Yet there's fight. Hey, they're going to be scared. They're going to be terrified at fighting Yahweh Shai in the chariots, or Yahweh Shai and the angels, which are going to be in the chariots. But guess what? The Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight. And since you fight so hard for the country that you love, guess what? You're going to go down for that same country that you love. Let's keep going. Wait, let's rewind it. Wait. He said any loss of life isn't a joking matter, but when it's the opposite team, we can rejoice. Really? Well, that's very hypocritical then, man. That's very hypocritical. Right? Here it is. You care about life so much, but you're helping destroy it. You're helping destroy it. See, but that's the hypocrisy of Babylon. This is how this place gets down. It's a heavy spirit of witchcraft here, man. Here it is. You can, as the scripture says in John 10, right? It says the thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and destroy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab this as well in the book of Ezekiel 28, right? Because Jake care about feeling so much, right? Well, let's go here. This is Ezekiel 28:3. It says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver in thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches." So how was America, funded or brought into light, man? Right? By way of what? Rape, rob, and murder. Right? America was founded upon bloodshed. Your ancestors were destroyed and killed, which just goes back to you through reincarnation, right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All here, and you have the blood of the saints. All here you have the blood of the saints. That through his traffic and him increasing in riches, it was all done by bloodshed. And now you've yoked yourself with the same conqueror, and now you're sorrowful for him. Well, he goes around the world and does this to people. Where's your outcry for when those kids are being bombed? Now, we understand through the Spirit, as the scripture says here in the book of Job. This is Job 4:7, and it reads, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?" Right? So we understand judgment, right? The scriptures clearly dictate and show you that when men, women, or whomever, are taken back to the spirit world and judged, ultimately it was the Lord that have done it. But he has a problem because now it's Americans. Oh, you realize you live here? Absolutely. We realize that this place is corrupted. We realize that this place is going to bring more hell unto us. We realize that, guess what? The same people who you're fighting for don't give a fuck about you, Jake. They don't give a damn about you. You're fighting a war that was funded for who? The bankers. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers. All these top banking families don't give a damn about you. You're just another goyim. And what are you doing? Defending the same system that they are oppressing you with. Right? Because everybody likes to bring the politics into it. Oh, well, Trump is doing this, Trump is doing that. Hey, it's both sides. Revelation 13 chapter. Let's get into it. It's Revelation 13, and I'm going to start here at verse... Salakia. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." right? It says another beast coming out the earth, right, which represents the Greco-Roman system in which Babylon ultimately inherited and furthered, right? When you take a look at the Grecian and Roman Empire, they had senates, they had political positions, and when you go back into the two horns like a lamb, the ancient plebeians and patricians, which are now your modern day Democrats and Republicans, right? Horn represent power. It says two horns like a lamb, right? Giving the appearance of something docile, giving the appearance of something for the people or innocent. But it says, and he spake as a dragon, right? So it doesn't matter if it's left or right, if it's conservative or liberal, right? If it's blue or red, guess what? It's the same system of individuals oppressing you. These same people that have you fighting don't give a damn about you. You're a number. You're a statistic. You're essentially a food, man. You're just a value. You're another tick in their program. And guess what? You being in the army, they gonna chip your ass too. So you fighting for the same system and don't even understand that Esau is against you. So keep fighting. That Jake is just a slave, man. A slave that's defending the plantation. That's it. Just a slave that's defending the plantation, man. If you cared about, hey, here we are on the highways and hedges, man. We're fighting for something real, and it's not physical. Hey, we want this system to be just thrown. Well, ultimately, it has to go down with much violence, but we want it to be gone, man, so that we can actually live, so that righteousness can reign throughout the earth. See, the scriptures talk about when the real Israelites get back into the land, hey, that the nation shall know war. They shall not know war anymore. See, you tired of war, you tired of killing? Hey, well, Yahweh Shemel Shai has already set up a plan in which the nations will never be able to war again. In which we'll have the ultimate power under Yahweh Shai. See, but he's comfortable wearing this uniform and speaking on behalf of E. He's going to continue to be a pawn in his army. Or as the Elder Craft, as I said when we were on the strip years ago, hey, you're going to continue to be a guinea pig for the devil, man. Continue to be a lab experiment. But guess what? At the end of the day, Esau still hates you, nigga. He still hates you. He still hates you. Yeah, you fighting in his war. Good job. He still hates you. He's still going to chip you. He still wants you under a system, where you own nothing and you're happy. He's still killing your people. Like, Jake is through, man. Jake is through. What you're seeing, matter of fact, let's grab this out of the book of Isaiah, I believe it's the 25th chapter. Because this is ultimately what Yahweh Shemel Shai is doing, man. And it's beautiful because people are waking up, right? It's all levels of awakening right now, man. Everybody is seeing the atrocities that the U.S. and Israel are doing unto the world. So to the point where American citizens are even rallying and giving condolences for quote unquote what will be considered their enemies. This Isaiah 25:7, it says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and that veil that is spread over all nations. Yahweh Shemel Shai is lifting up that veil, and people are seeing who the real villains are. Right? And when you expose that, because he's mad that Jake, I believe it's Long Beach Griffey, he made a video. He's mad that Long Beach Griffey basically was laughing at the fact that the American media is covering up the fact that America is losing. So this is his response to it. But guess what? America is losing. When you take a look at how the hammer of the earth really should be obliterating and how they're using up their resources on drones that cost less than 10% of what the actual missile defense systems cost, absolutely you're losing. You can do the math on the number. The numbers itself show you that you're losing economically, man. Hey, your same country that you're fighting for is engineering a famine so that your mama, your aunties, and your cousins can starve. So that civil war starts in your city. Martial law is going to be in your city, in your communities. And they're going to corral your community into getting chipped. And you have no problem lifting up your voice and fighting for Esau. Jake is just a pure slave, man. Look at this dude. Pure slave. All this evil that's happening and it's happened to so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you defending this shit. Jake gotta go, man. Jake has to go. Jake is sick. The whole head is sick, as the scripture says, man. The whole head. So people are happy to see that the wickedness of America is being exposed. The evil that this place has been doing decade after decade is being exposed. Yes, individuals are happy. Yes. Hey, and we're happy because this just shows forth that this kingdom is crumbling. We're at the toes mixed with the iron miry clay, man. Hey, so call on Yahweh Shemel Shah because Yahweh Shemel Shah is exposing this place on all sides. You know? So that's the point. There's no need to continue to play this nigga. Hey, but that was the lesson. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the body. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah HaKodash. And double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to Yakim bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.